And let's move on one more for greetings. That is the last example here I have for you. You can also use other expressions and then sentences or commands or orders in the classroom. These are just an example for greeting and starting the class. So another one is let's take attendance before we begin. So as the teacher or the class teacher, you need to take attendance. You can also, it's also up to you. You can also assign some student to take attendance for you, or you can also do this one by yourself. So this is about checking who is present or absent at the start of class. You can say, let's take attendance before we begin. So it would be, we're going to use the stress on the noun. This one, let me give you one more, let me draw a line. Let's take, attendance, second syllable stress, before we begin. This is the second syllable stress again. So we like, let's take attendance before we begin. You can also speak slowly, okay? Because when you teach children, you need to speak slowly. You can say, you also need to speak louder and then clearer for students or children who are younger. You can say, okay, everyone, let's take attendance before we begin. After taking attendance, we will begin our class and the lesson. You can speak slowly. By speaking slowly, younger children they will learn better. But if you're teaching, let's say middle school students or high school students, that's okay. They can follow you and they can understand you really well. Whether you're speaking a little bit faster or slower, but we shouldn't speak too slowly when we teach older students because they are not for that. They're not that much patient and they can't listen to that kind of speaking styles. So you can say in this way. Let's take attendance before we begin. So it will like instead of saying be, it will be b. Instead of saying for, it will be for. Before, before, before we begin. Other alternatives, you can say I will check who is here before we start. This is a very simple language, and then you can also use it. Very easy to understand. Not sometimes, most of the time, we need to use simple language in the classroom. If we use simple language again and again, students will understand better and they can follow you. If they can understand what we are saying, they will do what we ask them to do. If we are speaking too fast or if we are using difficult language and then the vocabulary they don't know, that's not very appropriate and practical in real life. So we can use this simple language as well. We can say I will check who's here before we start. You can also say let me take roll or let me take the roll call quickly. These are some of the things you can use before you begin your class or before you start your lesson.